the Hilux. It's just so much that's happened. We got all the parts for the front axle, put it back together.
Not sitting there.
Sort of learning as he was doing. Maybe I could go to Australia. The travels opened up, brings back so much memory. Hopefully I'll see you at Sydney 4-Driver Adventure show. If I really want to dial it in on point, you just watch. It's going to be magical once you finish. Hello, this is Monique speaking to you from Sydney, Australia. It's been a while. I know you're probably forgetting why I am here. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a bit, but just taking a walk after dinner. I thought it would be a good time to catch up and sort of go through what's been going on with everything. And I know you're probably wondering what's been going on with the Hilux. We will go through that. A lot happened in the past couple months now. Wow, time flies. I'm just walking on a bridge that sort of connects Pyrmont and Sydney CBD, I guess you would call it. Speaking in public or filming, vlogging in public is still one of my scariest things. It's probably a lot of vloggers or YouTubers' biggest fear, kind of trying to do your own thing when everyone's around you. But trying to overcome that, because in my sort of travel, usually I am out in the mountains, not really having a lot of people around, so you don't really get to do this a lot. It's going to be quite a different experience this time around. Coming to Australia, I'll be in a public a lot, I would say. Public. I mean, technically you're still in public when out in the mountain too, because public land. Anyways, okay, back to the topic on the Hilux. There's just so much that's happened. I will try my best to recall my memory in a linear format. Try to tell them in a timely, anyways, you get the idea. So, sort of in the last episode, we kind of ended on taking apart the front axle and figuring out a lot of problem has been basically you need a rebuild of the whole front axle. So most of the time we spend on waiting for parts, considering having a Hilux in Canada, you know how things are, getting parts and sourcing from abroad, waiting for overseas, and some miscommunication and parts, all that stuff. During time, the first thing we got for it was a canopy. We have to adapt a second-gen Tacoma canopy into the Hilux because you can't really source any Hilux-specific canopy in Canada. Did a couple modifications to make it fit, and still not completely sitting right. This section was cut from the bed liner that came with it, about 1/8 inch foam on top, plus another about 3/4 foam on top of that. So the original problem was the front was dipping and then the rear was too high. So with these foams, we were able to clamp this down a little harder. So now that the canopy sits even, but then the problem is the rear is kind of wider than second gen Taco. So now the windshield doesn't clip on properly. And it's barely biting when it close. And on that side is even worse because the rubber was chewing off already. So thinking of maybe take this and then extend it, weld a little piece on there, maybe about 1/2 inch, so that it can bite onto it. See how that work. I brought it to school, used the welder at school, extended, added a little piece of 1/8 flat plate on it. After galvanizing paint, oh yeah, it looks nice. That's so far what we have to do right now. So I'll hopefully try to sort something while I'm here and maybe ship it back to Canada if possible. But that's sort of for later on. Oh my god, look at that. How pretty it is. Next thing we'll need to do is just source a rack to put a roof tent on it. After maybe about a month or two, we got all the parts for the front axle, put it back together, as well as changing the front brake since we're that far in anyways. Front rotor, put in a dust shield, which it didn't come with, surprisingly. Fresh rotor, fresh brake pads. Everything's looking mint-ish.
We also need to flip the oil pan and pickup tube.
See how the panhard is blocking the pan from coming down, and the pickup tube in there is stuck in it too, so need to take the pickup tube out, and hopefully we can take this out. But yeah, that is the reason why the panhard is mounted like this, which gives it a huge leverage that's not gusseted where it eventually cracked. So we want to change it to high style one where the big bulge is in the back so the front can have a better fitment. Now we can put it back on its wheels and roll it again. And then it was about time to have our fabricator friend to come tow it, because we still can't really drive it with the front suspension all kind of cracked up and not really good geometry. So he towed it to his place.
This all has to come off.
Yeah.
I'm literally just gonna get rid of their plate, and it's just, I might as well just plate the frame like on the outside, and then do a reinforcement on this side and actually sleeve the frame so it doesn't crush it.
I was actually at Tyler's shop the other day watching him plating the frame. So that's how you're supposed to probably weld anything onto the frame, is you need to reinforce the frame itself. Basically, you need to drill through. This is just me trying to recall what he did, sort of learning as he was doing. You will need to drill through the frame and then put in these tubes across and then weld the two plates on that, so the force was more so on the tubes instead of twisting the frame itself. Very sophisticated process, fabricating and doing frame stuff. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do it myself.
This is what comes to a kicker, and this is why I want to do that, change this too. Not sitting there. So when it's on the ground, you only have like literally 2.5-3 inches between the two.
Yeah.
So when it comes up, it comes forward and hits it. Mm-hmm. So I want to try and bring this. I'll probably try and bring this even a little bit this way.
Okay.
And then maybe even take this mount off here and try and extend it so that it brings that further over.
Okay.
The longer and flatter your panhard bar is, the less your axle goes this way. Right?
Yeah.
While he was working on it, we just started to find one after another surprise.
The back of the shock tower is not welded, so Tyler is going to put some weld there and then cut along the line on the top here, because the rest of the metal is really unnecessary.
Of all the gibberish weld that I showed you from the previous video, when he started to grind the weld, he realized on every weld there's bundles on it. So basically, whoever did that SAS probably thought JB Weld will make their gibberish weld stronger.
Yeah, that was welded on. What's even better is your crossmember is welded on too. No bolts required. Awesome. So it was welded on there, welded on there. Don't worry, we bolted it too. We were double structure. Yeah. This one gets me. The weld's over there, the seam's over there. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, it was kind of welded on right there too.
So right now, They have this, Sydney have this whale tail, but like whale tail kind of thing happening around the city. There's an app that you can download to go through all of the dots and check in. So behind me, that's one. It's just the tail of a whale. They all have different design and a bit of a story that you can read about. Pretty cool thing to do when you're just walking around, doing tourist stuff, like what I'm doing right now. I was a little lost. I was trying to get down to the ground floor so I can walk around the water, but trying to find a way down. Oh, okay. I guess we're down here. So most of those tourist stuff, I've done it the last time when I was here, Madame Tussauds, those museum kind of stuff, so I guess we can skip that. Oh look, another whale tail. Maybe I should download the app and check in. Probably during time talking to you, I can collect all of them already. The city really hasn't changed much. I think the only new thing was that tall building back there, Crown. That's new, I think. Other than that, most of the city stuff brings back so much memory. The moment when I got off the plane, gone to the airport, waiting, just in my mind, I just kept telling myself, holy shit, this is real, I'm here again after 3 years, 2 years. Okay, it's actually not that long, but yeah, this is the first flight overseas after COVID. It's pretty funny, I actually picked up some of the Aussie accent fairly quickly. I guess it's in your muscle memory. Just needs a bit of environmental influence. Okay, so I think I should probably talk about why I am here to begin with. If you've been following, you might know I have been in school for metal fabrication. It's quite a big career change, coming from a business background, an office background, walking out of the office and finally actually becoming a tradie. Okay, that squeaking sound is kind of annoying. And my school actually finished just about maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from when I filmed this. And on the Friday, as I walked out of school, it just kind of had a 180 shift. I went from pretty happy, pretty good, everything has been nice and shiny, to all of a sudden too empty. Life has no purpose, and I'm just there sitting in my room staring into the ceiling, and not great. It was not great. Everybody told me to take a break from school before you start working, to sort of give yourself a little break and just chill out. But chill out haven't been really working out for me. It kind of reminded me of how it was like before I started working in sheet metal after my accident. It was just too much free time to think about all the things that's been happening, and rumination, chattering in my head. So once I started working, everything just became great again, which made me wonder, perhaps I haven't really healed. I just sort of kept myself busy and not to think about it. So once I had that time again, it came back. So a thought just randomly came into my mind. If I'm taking this break anyways, maybe I could go to Australia. The travel's opened up, there's no quarantine, and I can finally see my family. Who knows when I'll get another chance to do a cross-continent travel once I start working. You guys know how it is. So yeah, it went from just an idea to booking my flight all within, I guess, a weekend of time. So here I am, walking in Sydney Harbour. It's pretty unreal, to be honest. This is a personal trip, so I'm not here to buy another Land Cruiser to bring it back. And if you're in Australia, you know how, or even all around the world, how secondhand car market has been in this past few years. It's just going bonkers, and honestly right now most of our attention, resource, financially and time wise has been just on this Hilux itself. I really want to dial it in on point. You just watch, it's going to be magical once you finish. Since I am in Australia, I kind of entertained the idea of sourcing some parts for it and figuring out the shipping, and so we can really get a right-hand drive Hilux done in Canada, and we can actually take it out for a trip instead of just, you know, watching it apart in my driveway. So with my time here, I just got to know I can catch Sydney 4-Drive Adventure Show, which will be on September 9, 10 and 11. I will be around. I will try to catch it at least one of those days, most likely 10 or 11. Visiting some of the booth. I will let you know in detail if I will be there on a specific time. Maybe I'll see you in Rhino Rack's booth. Come say hi. I didn't bring a lot of things, but I'll have some patches to give out, and hopefully I'll see you there. Guys, holding a camera and doing a vlog is actually quite a shoulder workout. I am getting sore just talking to you within this short period of time. But yeah, this trip I didn't have a lot planned out, but it will be a good opportunity to finally meet some of the brand that's been supporting my journey, my build this whole time. Rhino Rack, you guys all know I can thank them enough for providing me not just storage solution but also a reinforcement to the roof that really prevented the roof from caving in during my rollover. Essentially saved my life. And perhaps we can visit Ironman once I get to Melbourne. Been trying to get a lot of parts from them for the Hilux, and some of the parts are only available in the Australian market. Again, we'll try to ship them over to Canada so we can finish the build and take it out for a trip. Other than that, yeah, I don't have a lot planned. It's just going to be a really chill trip. Whatever comes. It's still giving me a lot of anxiety to think about going out alone and planning the trip, executing the trip, and film the trip and editing the trip all by myself. I don't remember how I used to do that all by myself anymore, but hey, this is probably what happens when something big happens and you start to doubt all of your capabilities, and all I can do is take baby steps. So I will try to get back out there. It's just a matter of time. Oh my god, don't blow my hat away. And yeah, while I'm in Australia, I probably can finally buy some only available in Australia kind of stuff. Vegemite, I'll stock up on those, and maybe I can finally order some cool style safety glasses from Safe Style. They do have a North American shop, but it's only limited style. I really like some of their new cruiser style. I will get on it. I'll post about it once I get them. Not sponsored, I just really like it, especially now I have to wear safety glasses almost every day now at work. And you know how Asian face kind of sit flatter than, you know, most of the Western style face, and most of the safety glass don't really sit well on my face, but their lens actually sit really well. It doesn't like imprint on my face right here like what most are. And maybe I'll buy some cute looking pink, yellow, orange high-vis workwear, which aren't really available in Canada. I feel like we're still catching up, especially on the women's style tradeswear. Australia is definitely way ahead of us on that, and actually my visit to Australia was the main factor that made me want to take the road of being a tradie. So yeah, that's my short update, and hopefully I'll see you at Sydney 4-Drive Adventure Show, and I'll talk to you next time, hopefully with the running Hilux and out in the bush. Have fun out there. Stay safe. Honestly though, my heart is racing so fast right now. There was a guy that's just walking past and kept twisting his neck backwards and watching me to see what I'm talking about. It's really nerve-wracking filming in public space, so I salute to you, all the YouTubers, vloggers, filming in public. It's kind of awkward. I'll be fine.